You are a woman, and you are part of this leadership in this movement. And you've mentioned other women and their roles. Is there a special place for women's leadership in this process, or is that just incidental and the men and women are playing sort of an equal role? And because we're talking about a free democracy, that would kind of be the norm?
Well, actually, the Iranian resistance has always had placed the emphasis on women in leadership and equality within its ranks. And in fact, I could say more equity than equality, because I think that in our movements, especially because we are faced with a misogynist regime like the mullahs, it has been very important to understand the price that women have paid in this fight, in the forefront of this fight. And the reality is that because of the suppression that they face, because of all of the obstacles that they face to join even the ranks of the movement, the reality is that in society, unfortunately, we live in a male-dominant society around the world. I don't think there's any exception to that right now at this point. Women have been suppressed so systematically for so many centuries that it's like a spring. The more pressure that you put on it, when you take away that pressure, the more potential it has to jump. And that is what we have seen. Mrs. Rajavi has actually led this journey in this movement for 40 years now. And what she did is, she's not an exception to the rule. What she has done is create a whole line of competent, capable female leaders in this resistance. And she truly believes that women are the force for change. And the reality is that when women take leadership roles and when they are empowered, this isn't just, allowing women to take their place in society, but it's also, breaks off a lot of the shackles that are really pulling everyone back, both men and women. So it's in the path of emancipation of human beings. And this has one of the core principles of this movement. I mean, if you look at the MEK, the entire leadership council of the MEK are women. If you look at the NCRI, 52% of the NCRI are women. Women, you see them in the forefront in the fight against this regime too, in the streets of Tehran, across Iran. And so women are truly the force for change. And this is something that I remember I was 15, I think, when I heard a speech by Mrs. Rajavi in London, and where she directly targeted Khamenei and said, "You will be overthrown by the same force that you can't even take into consideration," and that is the women of Iran. And we see the role of the women of Iran today.